The power of conversation. Power 98.7. Now we're talking.
We're joined now by Arno Hart, and he is TV Whitespace Manager at Tenet. And Tenet is affiliated with WAPA, that is the Wireless Access Providers Association of South Africa. Now, Arno, this is actually quite a novel thing, and it seems like this white space has been with us from the time that we've had television. But firstly, take us through what TVWS technology is and how it actually works.
So TV Whitespace is the concept of using unused TV channels to beam internet into schools and homes and businesses in urban areas and rural areas. Mm-hmm. So we've run a trial in Cape Town with permission from ICASA.
Well, the easiest way in which it was explained to me is that when you go onto a channel that doesn't have anything coming onto it, an image or a signal, a clear signal of sorts, and you have that snow on the television, that the white speckles is what we're talking about.
Exactly. Same thing with your cell phone or with Wi-Fi.
Wow. So how's it being utilized in other parts of the world, especially in other parts of the continent?
It started off in the U.S. Around 2008, and it's such a long and arduous process because there's a huge regulatory process that has to take place in every single country. Every country is in charge of its own radio spectrum, and those policies have to be changed, and because you can't afford to have interference. And so we're slowly going through a very deliberate process around the world, working with partners like Microsoft and Google and Facebook and other major players in demonstrating to regulators everywhere around the world that there is a way to use spectrum without and sharing spectrum without causing interference, and in doing it in a very meaningful way.
Yeah, so I'd be able to have access or broadband accessible to me without interrupting the television viewing.
Absolutely. I mean, we're in Cape Town. We were snug next to existing TV broadcasts. So at many of the schools in Cape Town, they were getting internet right next to channels that were being used for TV at households right next door, and there was no interference.
And this trial that you ran in Cape Town that included 10 schools, is it over, and how did it go? What was the impact on the learning experience?
They went extremely well. The trial is finished, but the regulator was so pleased with how well it went that they've allowed us to maintain the network. We're still delivering internet to schools using those channels.
So how affordable and accessible would it be?
That's the whole idea. The whole idea is the more spectrum is available, the lower the cost becomes, the more the equipment becomes available. So we want to lower the cost of the internet in the direction of it being free and being a commodity as opposed to being a luxury. That's the whole fundamental principle here, is we want to move from a world where we all manage our bandwidth, where every month we try to buy as much as we can afford, to a point where we don't really care what it costs because it's so cheap.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, this thing has been there. But we are set to move from analog to digital next year. What implications will that be? Will that have, rather?
Well, actually, it's very exciting. It's called the digital dividend. As a result of the digital migration, a lot of spectrum is becoming available as a result of TV channels being squeezed together tighter. And so there's a lot more channels are free. And based on our estimation, after digital migration, there will be about 66% of TV white spaces. So all we're saying is allow us to use it for internet. You don't have to relicense it to anybody else, and we won't cause any interference. And we've been able to demonstrate that. And the regulator has paid attention. They're actually moving forward with a rulemaking process as we speak. By the end of 2015, we should have a commercial environment here in South Africa for TV white spaces.
So we're very familiar with how Wi-Fi works at the moment. What is the benefit to using TV white spaces?
So it complements Wi-Fi. White spaces can propagate further and can reach further. It can go through walls. It can go over trees and so on. So that's the first thing. It has better propagation capabilities. But secondly, it's just more spectrum. If you have more spectrum, we'll have more Wi-Fi. Everywhere I go, whenever I go anywhere, I always look for, first, maybe a bathroom, but second, Wi-Fi.
Yes.
You know, why? It's free.
Yes.
It's free. It's connectivity for free, and that's all we're arguing for here. Let's use those unused channels so that you and I and everybody else around the world can get access to internet at a very, very affordable rate. Why should it be an exclusive purview for only those who can afford it, and be limited on a month-by-month basis based on how much I can afford to, as opposed to it being something that's commonly available, like leaves on a tree, essentially.
Are there what are the opportunities for businesses?
Oh, huge in South Africa. So South Africa has hundreds of businesses around this country that provide internet where others don't, and at an affordable price. They create jobs locally in our local communities. If we have more internet availability, it leads to increased productivity, more jobs, access to education opportunities, healthcare opportunities for everybody, especially for those that really can't get to that now, in rural areas especially. So it's job creation and access to the internet. It's a fundamental right.
It sounds so exciting, Arno. Very exciting. We look forward to this.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for my call.
Thank you very much.